Hello everyone, it's lovely to be here and share this message with you all today. It's something that's been percolating in the back of my mind for a little while, but I'm now being very much prompted to share this with you all. It's a concept around spirituality versus technology, and I'm going to speak into this a little bit in terms of what's going on here on the planet right now. So I spoke a little bit in the past, or just recently in my last video, about timelines converging at the moment. So we're getting the opportunity within ourselves to reconcile pieces of our past, our own individual past, our own stories, and to make peace with our past. Now, as above, so below. So Gaia is also having or being given the same opportunity. So let me explain a little bit. What we're actually living at the moment is we're getting a review, another lap around of a history lesson. Gaia is a living library and her cache is open. So what that means is the records from her past and the true history of the planet. So what I want you to think about, which has a definite correlation today and what's currently occurring on the planet, is this idea around, spirituality and technology going loggerheads together. But is there a way for these two seemingly opposed ideologies to come together and work in harmony and unison? Now, the history lesson that we're getting is by looking back at the Atlantean times. Now, many of you may have memories from that time of being in that particular timeline, that ancient timeline. And of course, the story goes that there was an elitist group that took things too far. They became corrupted by greed and power, and they abused the technology that was on the planet, and in fact ended completely imploding that civilization. And of course it sank, so the whole land. So this is very relevant to what's going on right now, and what we're getting is a rerun of this history lesson. So the key to stepping into the new earth is through the heart. The heart, I always say, is a navigation tool for the soul. So is it possible for us to continue working on this human aspect of ourselves, this healing aspect, this bringing ourselves back to wholeness and the truth of who we really are, as well as combining that with technology for the betterment of the planet? Not so a few people can profit from this or abuse this power. Is there a way to bring the two into unison and harmony, to work together to co-create this new earth? I'm going to share a little story with you about something that happened to me a couple of years ago when I went, an experience I had when I went to Peru in the Sacred Valley. And because this is going to highlight for you that yes, it is possible, because we've already been doing it. We were doing it in the past. So when I went to the Sacred Valley, I went to a sacred site there, and I felt compelled to put my hand on this big stone portal that was there, and I put my hands on either side, closed my eyes, and I was literally flung back into the ancient Inca civilization, and I could see myself coming through that portal as a being from another planet. So this was showing me that yes, I was here, I was back there in those times. I was already told that, but obviously not in this lifetime. And what I saw was intergalactic species working in tandem harmoniously with the Incas to farm the land in the most effective, sustainable, healthiest healthiest of ways, using advanced technology. So the way forward, I feel, is by actually exploring these parts of our past. And there's so many more clues that are now coming to light, and artifacts and things that are now beginning to show themselves that allude to the true history of this planet and what we are actually capable of achieving and have achieved in the past. So it's like these doorways are now opening that were previously closed. The one thing I do want to say about these timelines converging is that I've been told that the timeline, the potential of the timeline where we implode ourselves, like back in the Atlantean times, has now been closed, that is not a potential to occur this time around. So it's like the door's been closed on that. We are going through the ascension process. How that looks is still very much in flux and flow, depending on the level of consciousness of the planet, the collective consciousness. So, you know, it is a journey and a ride that might take some time, or it could be fairly quick. It depends on how we move through this as a species. But my purpose of this video today is to just get us to check in with what is our perception of technology? How is it currently being used on the planet now? Is it being used for our greatest highest good, and more importantly, the planet's, Pachamama's greatest highest good? Or are we using it more in terms of, you know, AI capabilities? Once again, it's almost like this, you know, humans versus robots kind of mentality. But is there a way for us to value technology but use it in more sustainable ways that are in harmony and more harmonious with the planet? So there's some ideas to explore at the moment. And of course, you know, the time for us to think in terms of, you know, just ourselves has really passed now. This is about us coming together as a species on this planet, as a collective, and opening up our hearts even more to love, because that is the universal truth. There is only one truth, and that is love, because that is where we came from, that is who we are, and that is essentially what we're made of. That is our spirit, and that is the spirit inside every living being, and even non-living being on this planet. That is the connector. That is the connector of life for all of us. So we really get this opportunity to explore this again. And so if you're getting memories arise for you of previous lifetimes, particularly around Atlantean timelines, there's also a reason for that. More than likely you were there, or you witnessed something, and it's part of your Akashic records as well. So just being aware of what's coming up for us at the moment as well, and really looking at it openly, honestly, and looking at how far we've come as a species and as individuals, and celebrating that, you know, celebrating where we are right now. We've come a long way. There's still a little way to go, and the journey never ends. It's a lifelong journey. But at the moment, we're really getting this opportunity to go around again and have another look at some of the atrocities of the past, essentially, and to once again reconcile them and learn from them and work out where to from here. Where do we go from here? So that we don't repeat the same mistakes. You know, it's all, we're here to learn, we're here to grow, we're here to evolve. And one of the best ways to do that is learning from your past. And so that you can move forward into a much brighter future. And so that is where we're heading. It's, but of course, you know, there's always growing pains along the way. So I really feel the next 6 months for us are going to be very, very interesting, and then even more interesting after that. So into 2023. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you today, and really bring this idea of spirituality versus technology, and bringing these two concepts together, not for the benefit of the few, but for the benefit of the many, and more importantly, for the benefit of this planet herself. And the more we can open up to these ideas and expand our consciousness even further, is when new doors and opportunities open and arise for us that previously weren't there. So we continue to rise together, and thanks for listening to this message today. I hope it maybe helps a little bit explain what's going on, particularly in Australia as well. We've just had a new government elected, which is a very, very interesting time for us indeed, and there's a lot of conjecture around that. So really it's like a page is being turned in the history book, and we all get to be a part of where we go to from here. So sending you much love at this time. Thanks for listening, and I'll share whatever comes through with you next. Bye for now.